In a world full of noise, distractions, opinions, and expectations, self-focus has become rare, and that is exactly why it is powerful. Most people spend their lives reacting to social media, reacting to criticism, reacting to fear, reacting to what others expect from them. They scatter their energy everywhere and then wonder why they feel weak, confused, and exhausted. True power begins the moment you stop reacting and start focusing on yourself. Focusing on yourself does not mean becoming selfish or arrogant. It means becoming intentional. It means deciding that your growth, your discipline, your mindset, and your purpose matter more than approval, comparison, or distraction. When your attention turns inward, something remarkable happens. Your energy stops leaking. The power you once wasted on pleasing others, proving yourself, or chasing validation comes back to you. And that reclaimed energy becomes inner strength. Think about nature. A mountain does not move to impress anyone. A storm does not ask permission before it arrives. Fire does not explain itself, it simply burns. Nature is powerful because it is focused on being what it is. In the same way, when you focus on becoming who you are meant to be, your presence grows stronger without you saying a word. You don't need to announce your power. People feel it. Self-focus sharpens the mind. When your attention is divided, your thoughts are weak and scattered. But when your focus is clear, your mind becomes like a blade, sharp, precise, and effective. You start thinking long-term instead of chasing short-term pleasure. You begin to make decisions based on growth instead of comfort. Your priorities change. Your standards rise. You stop asking, "What do they think of me?" and start asking, "What am I becoming?" This mental clarity is the foundation of all success. Without it, talent is wasted, strength is misused, potential remains locked. But with clarity, even small actions become powerful. A focused person trains while others talk. A focused person learns while others scroll. A focused person builds while others complain. Over time, this quiet discipline creates a gap so wide that no explanation is needed. Self-focus also builds emotional control, which is one of the highest forms of power. Most people are controlled by their emotions. Anger makes them reckless. Fear makes them freeze. Praise makes them lazy. Criticism breaks them. But when you focus on yourself, you begin to observe your emotions instead of obeying them. You learn to pause, breathe, and choose your response. This is not weakness, it is mastery. A person who can control their emotions is dangerous in the best way. They are calm in chaos. They are steady under pressure. They don't waste energy on drama or arguments that lead nowhere. Like water, they adapt. Like air, they stay light. Like fire, they act with intensity when needed. Emotional control allows you to move through life with power, instead of being dragged by circumstances. Another key aspect of self-focus is discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is built through focus. When you commit to yourself to training your body, sharpening your mind, and refining your habits, you create structure. Structure creates consistency. Consistency creates results, and results create confidence. This confidence is not loud or desperate. It is quiet and unshakable. Discipline transforms ordinary people into forces of nature. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need endless motivation. You need focus. Focus tells you to show up even when you don't feel like it. Focus tells you to say no to distractions that steal your future. Focus reminds you that comfort is temporary, but growth is permanent. When you truly focus on yourself, comparison loses its power over you. You stop measuring your life against others because you are too busy building your own. You understand that everyone has a different path, a different pace, and a different purpose. Instead of jealousy, you develop respect. Instead of envy, you develop hunger. You no longer ask why someone else is ahead, you ask how you can improve today. This mindset shift is liberating. It frees you from the invisible prison of other people's opinions. You realize that most people are too busy dealing with their own insecurities to truly judge you. And even if they do judge you, it changes nothing. A storm does not stop because someone dislikes the rain. Self-focus also reconnects you with your inner identity, the part of you that existed before expectations, fear, and conditioning. Deep down, Every human carries instinct, strength, and resilience, like an animal in the wild. That inner force knows how to survive, adapt, and dominate challenges. But it remains asleep in those who never turn inward. Focus awakens it. As you focus on yourself, your actions begin to align with your values. You stop living on autopilot. You stop making excuses. You take responsibility. Responsibility is heavy, but it is empowering. The moment you accept full responsibility for your life, you regain control. And control is power. Over time, people will notice the change, not because you talk about it, but because your energy is different. Your posture is stronger. Your words carry weight. Your silence commands respect. Like thunder, you don't need to strike constantly. Your presence alone is enough to announce your strength. In the end, focusing on yourself is an act of self-respect. It is the decision to stop wasting your potential and start honoring it. It is the choice to become disciplined instead of distracted, intentional instead of reactive, powerful instead of passive. And when that happens, you don't just improve, you transform. You stop being someone who hopes for change. You become a force of nature. When you focus on yourself deeply and honestly, you begin to understand something most people never master. Your emotions are not your enemies, but they are dangerous if left uncontrolled. Emotions are raw energy. Like fire, they can warm you or burn you. Like water, they can refresh you or drown you. Like air, they can lift you or scatter you. Becoming a force of nature means learning how to command this energy instead of being ruled by it. Most people live in emotional chaos. A single insult can ruin their day. A moment of fear can stop their progress. Praise can make them lazy, and criticism can break their confidence. They are constantly reacting, constantly leaking energy. But when you focus on yourself, you step back and start observing your emotional patterns. You notice what triggers anger, what creates fear, what drains your motivation, and what strengthens your resolve. Awareness is the first form of control. Fire exists inside every human being. It is the fire of ambition, desire, hunger, and intensity. When uncontrolled, this fire becomes rage, impatience, and destruction. It makes people act before they think and speak before they understand. But when mastered, fire becomes drive. It becomes passion. It fuels discipline, courage, and bold action. Focusing on yourself teaches you when to ignite this fire and when to contain it. You stop wasting your energy on pointless arguments and start using it to build your future. Water represents emotional intelligence and adaptability. Life will never go exactly as planned. Pressure, loss, failure, and uncertainty are guaranteed. A rigid mind breaks under stress, but a fluid mind survives and evolves. When you focus on yourself, you learn to flow instead of fight. You learn when to push forward and when to step back. You understand that staying calm is not weakness, it is strategy. Calmness allows you to think clearly when others panic. Like water carving through stone over time, controlled emotion creates unstoppable progress. Air symbolizes freedom of thought and mental clarity. Emotional attachment to outcomes, people, and opinions suffocates growth. Many people cannot move forward because they are mentally trapped, trapped by fear of judgment, trapped by past mistakes, trapped by expectations. Self-focus creates space. It gives your mind room to breathe. You stop carrying emotional weight that does not belong to you. You let go of grudges, regrets, and unnecessary pressure. With this mental lightness, your decisions become sharper, faster, and more effective. Thunder is the expression of controlled power. Thunder does not roar constantly. It strikes with timing. A person who masters emotions does not react loudly to everything. They choose their moments. Their words carry impact because they are not wasted. Their actions are decisive because they are not driven by impulse. When you focus on yourself, you learn restraint. Restraint is misunderstood by weak minds as silence or submission. But in reality, it is dominance over self. And self-dominance is the highest form of strength. Emotional mastery also changes how you deal with pain. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional. People who lack control relive their pain repeatedly through anger, blame, and regret. Those who focus on themselves extract lessons instead of excuses. They ask, "What is this teaching me?" instead of, "Why did this happen to me?" This shift turns wounds into wisdom. It hardens the mind without killing the heart. Fear is another emotion that defines most lives. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being seen, fear of being alone. Fear keeps people small, obedient, and predictable. But fear, when faced correctly, becomes fuel. Self-focus forces you to confront fear instead of running from it. You learn that fear often exists only before action, not after it. Each time you act despite fear, your confidence grows. Slowly, fear loses its control, and courage becomes your natural state. Mastering emotions also means mastering ego. Ego craves attention, validation, and control. It reacts quickly and listens poorly. When ego is in charge, emotions run wild. But when you focus on yourself, you separate growth from ego. You become comfortable with being misunderstood. You stop needing to prove yourself. This silence is powerful. It conserves energy and sharpens intent. Like a storm forming quietly, your strength builds beneath the surface. As emotional control deepens, resilience emerges. Setbacks no longer destroy you. Criticism no longer defines you. Praise no longer distracts you. You remain stable, regardless of external conditions. This inner stability is rare, and rarity creates influence. People trust those who are emotionally grounded. They feel safe around calm strength. They respect consistency. Over time, your presence changes. You walk with purpose. You speak with clarity. You listen more and react less. You are not cold, you are controlled. You are not passive, you are precise. Just like nature, you do not explain your power. You demonstrate it. Becoming a force of nature is not about being loud, aggressive, or dominant over others. It is about being unshakable. It is about staying centered while the world moves unpredictably. It is about knowing when to unleash intensity and when to remain calm. This balance is what true power looks like. When you master your emotions, life stops controlling you. You control yourself. And the person who controls themselves can never be controlled by the world. Becoming a force of nature is not the result of a single burst of motivation or one dramatic decision. It is built slowly, quietly, and relentlessly through consistency. Most people underestimate this truth because consistency looks boring from the outside. It has no instant applause, no quick validation, and no dramatic shortcuts. Yet it is the most powerful force in the universe. Nature itself is proof of this. Rivers do not rush, but they never stop. Mountains are not built in a day, yet they stand unmovable for centuries. When you focus on yourself and commit to consistent action, you begin to move with the same unstoppable strength. Consistency starts with small, disciplined choices made every day. Waking up on time, training your body even when you feel tired, learning even when progress feels slow, showing up even when no one is watching. These actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they compound into something massive. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they lack the patience to stay consistent when results are invisible. The human mind craves quick rewards. It wants instant success, instant recognition, instant comfort. Consistency demands the opposite. It demands faith in the process. It demands trust in repetition. When you continue to work without immediate results, you are training more than your skills. You are training your character. You are proving to yourself that you can be relied upon. Self-trust is one of the strongest forms of confidence, and it can only be earned through consistent effort. Consistency also removes the need for motivation. Motivation is emotional, and emotions fluctuate. Some days you feel inspired. Most days you do not. If your progress depends on motivation, your growth will be unstable. But consistency is structural. It is a system, not a feeling. When you focus on yourself and build routines, you create momentum. Momentum carries you forward even on days when you feel weak. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. Over time, Consistent action reshapes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries, and you begin to see yourself as someone who does. This shift is subtle but powerful. Your standards rise naturally. You no longer tolerate laziness, excuses, or self-betrayal. You begin to respect yourself because your actions align with your goals. And when self-respect is present, external validation becomes irrelevant. Consistency also builds physical and mental endurance. Life is not a short sprint. It is a long journey filled with resistance. Those who rely on intensity burn out quickly. Those who rely on consistency adapt and survive. Each day of disciplined effort strengthens your ability to handle pressure, fatigue, and setbacks. Like a body trained under resistance, your mind becomes resilient. Problems that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Failure becomes a teacher rather than a stop sign. When you are consistent, failure does not define you. It informs you. You adjust, improve, and continue. This persistence is what separates forces of nature from temporary sparks. A storm does not turn back because of resistance. It pushes through. Consistency gives you that same relentless forward motion. Another powerful effect of consistency is invisibility. At first, no one notices your effort. People underestimate you. They doubt you. They ignore you. This is not a disadvantage. It is protection. It gives you time to grow without pressure or interference. While others are busy seeking attention, you are building strength. And when the results finally appear, they seem sudden to outsiders, even though they were years in the making. Consistency also simplifies life. When your habits are aligned with your goals, decision fatigue disappears. You no longer waste energy choosing between discipline and distraction. Your routine makes the decision for you. This clarity conserves mental energy, allowing you to focus on higher-level thinking, creativity, and strategy. You move with intention instead of impulse. As days turn into months and months into years, your presence begins to change. There is a calm confidence in someone who has proven themselves through consistency. They do not rush. They do not panic. They do not over-explain. They know who they are because they have built it step by step. This confidence is felt, not announced. Like the quiet pressure before a storm, it commands attention without demand. Consistency also attracts opportunity, not through luck, but through readiness. When opportunities appear, most people are unprepared. They lack the skills, the discipline, or the confidence to act. But the consistent individual is always ready. They have been training in silence. They have been sharpening their tools daily. When the moment comes, they do not hesitate. They strike with precision. Eventually, consistency turns effort into instinct. What once required discipline becomes natural. Growth becomes your default state. You no longer ask whether you should train, learn, or improve. You simply do. At this stage, you are no longer chasing success. You are embodying it. Nature does not stop to question itself. It does not negotiate with resistance. It continues, day after day, season after season. When you adopt this mindset, nothing can permanently stop you. Delays no longer discourage you. Setbacks no longer weaken you. You understand that time is not your enemy, it is your ally. Becoming a force of nature means being reliable to yourself above all else. It means honoring the commitments you make in private. It means choosing progress over comfort repeatedly. It means trusting that small actions, done consistently, will create massive transformation. In the end, consistency does not just change what you do, it changes who you are. And once you become that person, your power is permanent.